The United Kingdom refuses to say if it would arrest the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant. We're going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline that the United Kingdom refuses to say if it would arrest the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after the International Criminal Courts have issued an arrest warrant. The International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu on Thursday for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity related to the war in Gaza. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. First of all and foremost, I'm going to put a link in the description of the press release from the International Criminal Courts, and I'm going to show you this just temporarily here. So this will be a link in the description if you guys want to read it yourself, and I have already this is from the International Criminal Court, the press release of the situation of the state of Palestine. The ICC pre-trial chamber 1 rejects the state of Israel's challenge to jurisdiction and issues arrest warrants of arrest for Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant there. And if you want to read that piece, that will obviously be available to you down below. So now why has the UK basically set on this? So there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't think it's right that the UK government are kind of sitting on this. It's not very good. It's not very good to sit on the fence on this issue. But we also know that the UK are kind of afraid of upsetting Israel, and they're also afraid of upsetting America, and they are very keen not to get drawn in this topic because of the repercussions that they could have. Now, I'm going to play this clip from the Home Secretary on this issue because I do think it is one that deserves an answer. So, Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, was asked about whether, if he was to come to UK, would he basically be arrested? Because we are obliged by the International Criminal Courts to arrest him, would we do so? So, what do you think her answer is? Well, I'm going to play the clip and I'll let you guys play the part of this clip and I'll let you guys figure out for yourself. But I will respond to some of the comments that she made in this, guys.
Well, that's not a matter for me as Home Secretary. The International Criminal Court is, of course, independent, and we respect its independence and the role that it has to play. But in the overwhelming majority of International Criminal Court investigations, they never become a matter for either the British legal and law enforcement processes or for the British government. In any case where they ever do, there are proper processes that need to be followed, and therefore it wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment on those. What I can say is that obviously the UK government's position remains that we believe the focus should be on getting a ceasefire in Gaza. We have seen obviously
so she's just so I need to pause it right there because she didn't directly answer the question, but did she not respect and uphold the law that has been put in place here? And she's saying it's not a matter for her. Well, excuse me, but you are the Home Secretary, so it kind of is a matter for you. It's a matter on the position of where the UK government stands on this, considering that either you're following the law of the International Criminal Court, or you're not following it. And them, as well as the other 150 plus nations who are part of it as well. What is the point of you being signed up to it if you're not going to follow its laws and respect its laws, respect its ruling on this matter? So to try and exacerbate that there's more to this, there isn't more to this now. They've made their decision. Whether you agree or disagree with the decision is not up to you. And the UK government, if they are obligated to follow the ICC, then they will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he ever sets foot in the UK. It should be as simple as that. There shouldn't need to be an angle around this. But like I said, there are political reasons for why they are not saying this as well, which is unhelpful.
the huge troubles really right across the Middle East ever since the Hamas terrorist attack in October 7th last year. And our focus needs to continue to be on getting a ceasefire in place.
I'm sure everyone there will agree with her on that, but that's not the question being put to her.
You say that it's not for you to answer the question about whether or not Benjamin Netanyahu would be arrested if he arrived in the UK, but the UK is a signatory of the International Criminal Court. Don't we have to respect its rulings?
As I said, we respect the independence of the International Criminal Court. That has long been our case, and we've always respected the importance of international law. But as I've said, in the majority of the cases that they pursue, they don't become part of the British legal process or the British government processes. On those cases where they do, there are important processes that need to be followed, and that's why it wouldn't be appropriate for me as the Home Secretary to comment on individual cases.
So you're not going to follow it. It's essentially what she's implying there. And I'm going to say implying. That doesn't mean specifically that she is, but I'm going to say she's implying that. That's not ideal. It's not ideal that if you are part of it. Now, some people may argue in the comments that the British government shouldn't have to, and neither should any governments do. Please feel free to break down why the UK or other countries that are who are respectful of the ICC and respectful of their rulings and whatnot. Please explain to me in the comments why they shouldn't follow them, without using the term of politicizing the reasons. Because is not we supposed to be in a world of rule of law and order of some sorts? Is that not what this is? Do we not follow international laws anymore? Is that it? Because of what? Because we're worried about the politicization of this. This is about what the Israeli Prime Minister and Yoav Gallant, what they have done in the Middle East, and we know for a fact that they have committed atrocities on behalf on behalf of the IDF. What they have done in Gaza, the facts are there. There are hundreds of thousands of videos, of photos, of evidence showing the IDF and its barbaric abuse on the Palestinian people, not just in Gaza, but even in the West Bank. We know that's been the case. The evidence is very loud and very, very clear, and they should pay for their crimes. But we know that instead of actually following the rule of law, everything is all politicized. So the Home Secretary has refused to say if Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would be arrested if he landed on British soil after an international arrest warrant was issued for him. On Thursday, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and the former Israeli Defense Secretary Yoav Gallant for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity related to the war in Gaza. But Yvette Cooper said the ICC, which the UK is a member of, is independent, and while the government respects that, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment on the process involved. But the point I have is either you stand by its ruling or you don't. She told Sky News, "We've already respected the importance of international law, but the majority of cases are pursuing." Yet we've read her comments there. However, Emily Thornberry, Labour's chair of Foreign Affairs Committee in Parliament, told Sky News, "If Netanyahu comes to Britain, our obligation under the Rome Convention would be to arrest him under the warrant from the ICC. It's not really a question of should. We are required to because we are members of the ICC." That's not going to go down well between her and Yvette Cooper. The government said after winning July's election, it would not oppose the ICC's right to issue the warrants. An ICC arrest warrant was also issued for Hamas leader Mohammed Dabib Abraham, the mastermind behind October 7th attacks for Israel, for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity. Yeah, it's really important to state that the Hamas leader is also issued an arrest warrant, as well as two other leaders who have been killed since the arrest warrant to come out as well. Israel claims Ali Massoud was killed earlier this year, but the ICC said that has not been confirmed, so it was issuing the arrest warrant. Netanyahu's office said the warrants against him and Gallagher were anti-Semitic and said Israel rejects with disgust the absurd and false actions. Well, they don't have any, the evidence and the facts say differently to that. So It's not anti-Semitic. What they're doing is barbaric in the Middle East. We know that. Neither Israel nor the US are members of the ICC, and Israel has rejected the court's jurisdiction and denies committing war crimes in Gaza. US President Joe Biden described the warrants against Israeli leaders as outrageous, and adding, whatever the ICC might imply, there is no equivalent, none between Israel and Hamas. Again, Joe Biden refuses to look at the facts, the evidence. We know that the US has its head up Israel's backside. They're not going to listen to factual information on this specific issue. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said the warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant were a mark of shame for the ICC. I disagree. The Board of Deputies for British Jews said the ICC decision sent a terrible message. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán said on Friday he would invite Netanyahu to visit Hungary and would guarantee the arrest warrants would not be observed. However, both France and Italy signalled they would arrest Netanyahu if they came to their countries. Well, if Hungary are part of the ICC, which I believe they are, then they should be kicked out of it. If they're not going to obligate to the international criminal courts, then they should be kicked out of it because they're refusing to be obliged to it, as far as I'm concerned. The ICC originally said it was seeking arrest warrants for 3 men in May for the alleged crimes, and on Thursday announced that it had rejected challenges by Israel and issued arrest warrants for the rest. In its update, the ICC found reasonable grounds to believe that Netanyahu and Gallant bear criminal responsibility for alleged crimes. These, the court said, included the war crimes of starvation as a method of warfare and the crimes against humanity of murder, persecution, and other inhumane acts. It's the first time a sitting leader of a major Western ally has been accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity by a global court of justice. I should also point out as well, which is very, very key point, as well as in the statement that they put out, is that they are not accusing them of committing genocide. That's very, very accusing them of war crimes. They're not accusing them of genocide. That's a very important key note I wanted to put in there as well. But coming back from the UK's point of view, the position is this: is that if the UK are not going to fulfil its obligations then of being a member of the ICC, of when an arrest warrant is issued for somebody, then they should not be a part of it. If they're not fulfilling to stand for international law and abide by international laws, then they should not be a part of that. We should be fully supportive of the ICC and its decision, whether we agree or disagree with the decision. Because if you believe in the rule of law, you will stand by decisions, whether you agree or disagree with the decision. So what do you guys think? What do you guys make of the UK kind of sitting on the fence as of right now when it comes to the decision about if Benjamin Netanyahu was to set foot in the United Kingdom, that he would or would not be arrested by the UK police? Let me know your thoughts and more on this down in the comments section below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. If you want to go one step further and financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.